They say your spirit animal is the animal that most closely embodies your personality traits and characteristics. Man is inherently imperfect. There is no human being alive who is free from error, and we as a species all pose a threat to the natural beauty of the earth. On the other hand, any other animal that you can think of is not only completely innocent, but is one with nature. As humans die off, they too become one with which they try to destroy, inside of its soil, or perhaps among its surface under a new form, their own spirit animal. Never before has such a concept manifested itself into physical human form, much less so perfectly, until now. Enter Arav Niktomi, a young man who had multiple different spirit animals. And then his camp counselor said he was full of shit. Arav didn't take kindly to this, so he was quick to kill off his counselor and all the other kids, before briskly disappearing into the forest. 20 years later, a bunch of young, dumb people venture out to spend their New Year's weekend at the campgrounds where the massacre took place 2 decades prior. We get a cast of colorful, questionable characters. In the lead, we have Lisa, a young woman who's afflicted by her toxic relationship with her obsessive, abusive boyfriend Adam. We also have characters like Timmy, a pathological smoker and alcoholic rarely seen without some sort of booze or dope, and never seen respecting the beauty of nature. And then there's Randy, who likes to eat. Yeah, and then there's Ralph, the soon-to-be fiancé of Lisa's sister, Andrea. Throughout the whole camping trip, Lisa cannot stop thinking about her terrible situation, much to the annoyance of everyone else. But even worse, as time passes, the various different members of the group begin disappearing, and things only keep going downhill from there. First-time director Madeline Deering really went all out with her debut feature film. Both her and co-writer Joseph Ruscio set out to write and produce a horror comedy akin to shot-on-video and otherwise low-budget anti-classics of the 80s, like Splatter Farm and Nailgun Massacre. And what results is probably some of the most fun I've had with an SOV in a long time. Spirit Animal can be called many things: funny, cheesy, gory, over-the-top, ridiculous, absurd, but one thing I cannot deny is that it is charming, creative, and original. Despite the setting being in a place as cliche as the forest, the story takes an original twist on the slasher genre with its environmental message, and with some humor sprinkled on for good measure. A lot of times, I find that movies trying to speak to their audiences tend to be preachy or bludgeon the viewer over the head with their message, but that isn't the case with Spirit Animal. It doesn't just say these things because humans bad, but it truly aids the plot and it makes Spirit Animal stand out from the trove of mindless, forgettable horror comedies. The writing is pretty solid and there's a lot of genuinely good humor here, but there's also a lot of puns. I'm a sucker for puns, but some of these really made me groan. The movie also tends to drag a little at points. Like, this pissing scene was so long that I thought my DVD was broken and began looping. But despite the flaws in the pacing, the movie is never boring and it tends to pick back up pretty quick. The acting here is a mixed bag. All of the performances are intentionally hammy and over the top, but some of the acting just flat out sucks, which makes the movie even funnier. Even better are the ultra cheap special effects and gore. Sometimes the effects actually look really good, and sometimes they look, well, really cheap. But I mean that in the best way possible. Everything on display here would feel perfectly at home in, say, an early 90s SOV. And that's what I absolutely love about Spirit Animal. Everything here was shot on VHS for that authentic shitty video quality. The music couldn't possibly be any more 80s, and even better, the movie comes with these scratch and sniff cards that you sniff when certain numbers come on the screen. Needless to say, Spirit Animal is quite the low-budget cinematic experience. And I understand that movies shot on video usually appeal to the smallest niches possible. Most people would probably stay away from this movie simply because it's shot on video, just like the thousands of other SOVs that came before it. But Spirit Animal has had the honor of being played in multiple film festivals, and has grown to be greatly enjoyed, if not just simply appreciated by casual moviegoers with little interest in amateur, micro-budget filmmaking. Honestly, I would implore anyone who loves B-movies to watch Spirit Animal because it's just such a damn good time. And since Spirit Animal came out, co-writer Joseph Ruscio released his own film Beyond Dark Dreams, which looks like a genuine good movie. And Madeline Deering is already working on developing her next feature film, Bathtub Shark Attack. I can say that after Spirit Animal, I'll gladly continue supporting these filmmakers in any way I can because I see nothing but potential from them. But in the meantime, I cannot recommend Spirit Animal highly enough. And I'm not sure if she has any copies left, but please, do yourself a favor, reach out to the director, buy her movie, and support independent filmmaking. Man, I love this movie.